Hi Stampers! Welcome back to the second of my Holiday Hops online classes. Last week we did a really cool split fold panel wow card to kick off the season. Check that out. If you've missed that class, I'll leave a link below so that you can catch up and try this new technique for yourself. This class is all about quick, easy, and elegant cards. I'll be giving tips for mass producing if you are making a bunch of winter cards or holiday cards. We will be using the Snowflake Wishes Bundle again, which comes with the stamps and the framelits. And you can, of course, use any of the sayings in the set to expand the versatility and make cards for all your winter occasions, in addition to combining them with your own birthday or thinking of you or get well. Stay tuned to the end of the video. I will be sharing a bonus card that is not included in the Holiday Hops card kit, but is so easy to make using supplies that you likely already have. You'll also find out about our third Holiday Hops class. You're going to love it. Be sure to hit that subscribe button below so that you'll know when the class is posted. Here are the card dimensions and measurements for today's card. We're going to first of all start by doing the bits and pieces. So start with your silver foil cardstock, so pretty, and we're going to emboss it in our embossing folder. You'll open it up, making sure that your Stampin' Up logo is on top, and put that inside. The sandwich you'll need for this is to take your platform, if you have the old style, open it to tab 1. Place your base plate on the bottom, then the embossing folder with your silver foil on top, and then the top plate. You'll send that through the Big Shot. When you're done, you'll end up with a beautifully embossed metal piece that looks like this. So pretty and elegant. Next, let's cut our snowflakes. You're going to need your Heather Highland and your Balmy blue glitter paper. We'll place that on our magnetic platform, but first we'll want to put the bottom plate down, and then the cardstock. Now for the Balmy blue, remember the tip I gave last time is to flip it over. It seems to cut better on the back side. And then you'll put your beautiful framelits on top of that. So I think for this one we're going to use the little one for the Balmy blue piece, and the bigger one for the Highland Heather one. Place your top plate on top of that and send that sandwich through the Big Shot. Now for anything that has a lot of detail, sometimes I go over, I send it through and send it back a couple of times. Also, the tip I gave last time is to make sure that you do cut and place any detailed dies along the edges of your platform, because the rollers are located on the edge and you will get the best and cleanest cuts there. When you take it out of the Big Shot, you'll get this. And what I like to do is to take my roller brush, and right now we have a attachment that goes on top of your take a pick tool, and just rock and roll on top of the die and also on the cardstock. And as you can see, all the pieces come out. They pretty much fall out. So super easy to use. This is our Highland Heather Snowflake. So pretty and so detailed. The last piece that we want to put together is the saying. And so what we will do is to take our smaller strip of cardstock and our lovely label punch. It sits close, so you want to slide to open the punch. And this time I'm going to use this beautiful ending. It's a 1-inch strip, so it will actually slide right into the slot. But I always like to turn it upside down and make sure that it's centered before I punch. Take it out and also do the same to the other side. Make sure it's centered and then give it a nice punch. Oop. All right. We want to stamp our saying, so I always look at the stamp that I'm using and I ask myself, foam or no foam. So this is photopolymer. There's no foam there. You'll want to bring in your foam mat to get the best image. I like contrast because I'm getting older, so I'm going to put my label straight onto that. And we're going to ink the saying up. It says, Snowflake wishes for a Merry Christmas. And we're going to tap, tap, tap use the full surface of your ink pad and tap very gently. I've heard demonstrators say it's like kissing a baby. Just tap very gently to make sure you have good ink coverage, and that also prevents you from getting all the extra ink on the edges. All right, then you're going to go ahead and center it and stamp it. And I love that photopolymer, you can see right through to the label itself. So give it a stamp, count to 1, 2, 3, lift straight up. And you have a beautiful saying. Now we're ready to assemble our card. We'll take our card base, which is Whisper White. I match the 4 corners to fold that in half. Take your bone folder and zip it along the bottom. I think of a letter L or L shape. I go along the bottom, holding it vertically, and then up the side to give a nice clean fold. All right, next I'm going to put our beautiful silver strip on that's embossed. You want to put tape in each of your 4 corners or any adhesive that you're using. And the important part of the taping is to make sure that your adhesive is snug right into the corners, like so. So you see it's very close to both edges. Go ahead and place that on the card. And I'm leaving a little bit of a border. You know what, this is hard to see. Let me put that mat back underneath so you can see what I'm doing here. We like contrast. So what you'll do is to leave a little border along the top, like so. Next, we're going to take our designer paper, and we're using the beautiful Snowflake one. This is what it looks like. And I love this particular one because I get to see the Highland Heather colors along with the shades of blue. I think it's a very, very pretty combination. So we're going to take a small piece of that and tape that onto our card. I centered that piece of designer paper pretty much in the center of the card, so it looks like that. Next, we want to put our saying. So flip your saying over, and this time we're going to use Stampin' Dimensionals to give it a little bit of lift. These are very strong as well. I'm using the mini ones, and I just use 3, 1 on each end and 1 in the middle. It's 2-sided, so take off the lids on all of those. And we're going to place that in the center of our designer paper. Now we get to embellish with all the beautiful snowflakes. So we're going to start with a Highland Heather one. And like we did last month, we're going to find our glue dot, take your pick tool, and I taco or fold over. Actually, you know what? This time I want a little more dimension. So I'm going to just ball it up. And I look for a part on the snowflake that has lots of cardstock surface so that I can hide that. So kind of ball it up. And a couple will be more than strong enough to hold that in place. So we're going to take that and put it. And again, I usually put everything down before I tack it, to position everything before I press. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Likewise, I'm going to do the same with my Balmy blue. So pretty. Look at that. We'll put the glue dots on the 2 sides there. Whoops. And then place it down. I love how the blues and the Highland Heather of the designer paper is pulled out and highlighted by the colors of the snowflakes. Lastly, we're going to put this whole base card onto our mat. So the card actually will open like this. Oh, before we do that, I want to stamp the inside. So because I have the colors of the Balmy Blue, Pacific Point, and Highland Heather, I want to echo those inside the card as well. So I'm going to take one of the stamps. We're going to take the little one. That's kind of a corner stamp here. And we're going to ink that up in Highland Heather. And I'm just going to park that in the corner of the card. Stamp that down 1, 2, 3, and lift. And then I'm going to take one of the other larger stamps. How about this one right here? Any of them are beautiful. And I'm going to tap it in our Balmy Blue ink. Now mine is a fairly new ink pad, and so it's pretty dark, so I want to actually make a lighter snowflake, so I'm going to stamp it off onto junk paper first and take the second stamping or impression in my card. 1, 2, 3. So soft and pretty. If we want to add a little bling, we can use our Wink of Stella pen and just draw along part of the snowflakes just to give it a little accent. And I do the same with the purple ones. Just a little bit of bling. So when you're done, let's see if you can see that. You have a little bit of shine. All right, card's almost done. We're just going to take that, put tape on the 4 corners. There's the adhesive on the 4 corners. And then we are going to place the Pacific Point mat down and center your card on top of that. Lastly, we like to add bling to make it ultra elegant. So we are going to use the blue gems that are part of this suite. These blue adhesive-backed gems have 2 different colors. So there's a bluish one and a multicolored one. I'm going to use the bluish one today. I'm going to take a big one and place it. And anytime I use anything adhesive back, I like to give it a little press, scoop it up with my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to place that in the center of my Heather Highland snowflake. I'm also going to take a smaller one and put it inside in the inside of my Balmy blue. So pretty. Lastly, we have these great adhesive-backed snowflakes. So I want to add one more little accent on there. I'm going to take and scoop off one here and place that on the corner of my saying. And I'm going to scoop off 2 more and place that along the lower corner just to kind of finish off and fill in some of that white space. I do still like white space on there because it leaves it simple and elegant. So pretty. And there you've quickly made a gorgeous, elegant holiday card. I promised you a bonus card, so here is our bonus card using very, very similar materials as the other card. And I'll talk you through how to put this one together. We're going to start with our larger snowflakes. So up until now, we've used a lot of our framelits to do our stamping along with the designer papers. And of course, I want to let you know that we have some beautiful stamps that go along with this as well. So we are going to use the stamps for this card. Now, I want to give you those tips for mass producing. So what I'm going to do is take my bigger snowflake and set it in the corner. And then the smaller one, place it maybe up here or so. So it's kind of going off the edge. And then I'm going to take a big block that will hold both of those, and you can just pick those up. So now what happens is, for your stack of cards, you have 2 stamps already done, and it's kind of a shortcut for doing multiple cards. So anytime I have anything on a big block, I actually place that on the table, and I pick up this ink pad and tap, tap, tap. Now again, as I said, this is a darker color, so I want the secondary image on there. So what I'll do is I'll take it, stamp this off onto the junk cardstock, and then take the secondary image and just place it in the corner. 1, 2, 3, and there's our base card. Now I've done the same setup to do our second stamp. I simply placed those stamps just like I did, picked it up on a larger block, and this time we're going to use it with Highland Heather. And I'm using it full strength with the first stamping. So what I'm going to do is to take it and just kind of park it like this. All right. Now what's kind of fun is with that secondary image, we can do something a little lighter in the corners. So maybe I'll do a little extra here without re-inking, and I'll do a little extra there without re-inking, just to kind of fill it out. Lastly, I want to put a little bit of ink, another snowflake in the corner, so I'm going to stamp that off. I'm taking the first one that I used and fill that in. So I kind of have an L-shaped design on here. That looks pretty good. To finish off this card, all I did was I took my 2 1/4 inch circle punch and punched out the same designer paper, making sure that I had some Highland Heather, some part with Highland Heather, as well as the blue. I really like that look. And I went ahead and adhered that to the card with dimensionals. So you see that it's raised slightly. Then I took the Snowflake Wishes, just like we did for this first card, and put that on top, centered it with, again, dimensionals. I took our Balmy blue and made a couple more snowflakes and put that in the corners, and then lastly finished it off with some of the beautiful gems. Those are the multicolored ones. You go ahead and layer that onto your Pacific Point and you have another card. Super quick, super convenient. And now, as you see, when you do multiple cards, each time you already have 2 snowflakes inked ready to go, and you can do 2 images at the same time. And that just cuts out, or cuts down on the time that you do to ink and stamp things. If you have our wonderful Stamparatus, you can do the same thing by placing the stamps on the cardstock, closing it, picking it up, and then every single time you just use the Stamparatus to give you multiple images. And you would load these 2 up on 2 different plates. So one going this way and one going this way. So pretty, so quick and easy. So I hope these 2 quick, elegant cards give you a jump start to your holiday card making. All the stamps, accessories, and embossing folders are included in the Snowflake Splendor Suite. And all the products, details, and links are below. And as always, you always save 10% when you buy our bundled products. When you place an order of $50 or more with me in September, you'll receive a free PDF with photos and instructions for making 2 projects using the beautiful autumn stamp set. I will be showcasing that set in the 4th Holiday Hops online class. If you would like to stamp along with me in the Holiday Hops series, I have an online class kit available for just $20 plus $3.50. That kit will contain all the paper supplies, die cuts, and punch pieces and accessories for each class, except the stamp images as per the Stampin' Up policy. Stampin' Up does not allow us to send stamped images. There will be 5 cards or projects in the Holiday Hops series. Please email me at the link below if you would like the kit. And of course, all of my local stampers can pick up your kits to save money on shipping if you prefer. If you need any supplies and don't already have a demonstrator, you can shop anytime on my website, and please use the Hostess code shown. Now, our 3rd Holiday Hops class will showcase the gorgeous Poinsettia Petals bundle and a hidden treasure that you might not have noticed in the holiday catalog. They're the gold cards and envelopes on page 51. I'll be sharing these elegant projects next week, and there will be 2 projects, including a beautiful 3D item. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you don't miss any future videos. If you're looking for more ideas, click on any of these videos to see fun tips, tricks, and inspiration. Thanks for watching.